Hello everybody, this is Starman, and welcome to the final chapter of Let's Play Martian Memorandum. Well, we're here in a cave. No booby traps, oddly enough. And we're walking. And we have this door. A solid metal alloy door. A small hole in the door made to accept an interlocker card. Well, that card that we picked up when it triggered the explosion. Bingo. Not a good move. The door slammed shut behind me. And in case you couldn't take a guess, the young, voluptuous, strikingly beautiful daughter of Martian Alexander. She has a name, jackass. It's Alexis. And you'll note that, of course, the door can't be opened because somebody cemented over the controls. Well, in a shaky voice, she responds. And then we switch to this narration for no reason. Alexis Alexander stands there nervously, staring at me with huge fawn-like eyes. Her hair is the gold of old paintings, and is tousled enough, but not too much. Her face is strong, but beautiful. She has a full set of curves, which nobody has been able to improve on. She is frightened, but it looked as if she could smile easily. Her eyes are crystal blue and clear. Her mouth is large and sensual. Yeah, her hair doesn't look so much tousled as it does aqua-netted to hell. But this game did come out in 1991, which is early enough in the 90s. It was still practically the 80s. What do you want? I came to rescue you. Let's ask about Martian Alexander. They tell me he's dead. I feel badly because he was my father, but he wasn't a good man. I never knew about my father's past. He was cruel to those around him, but he was always good to me. Then I found his real name was Collier Stanton. The man who massacred that colony. I wanted to hurt him. I knew that stealing the stone would get back at him. Terraform Corp. Boy, mood swings on this chick. You go from crying to suddenly this no-nonsense look. No nonsense. Bored. No nonsense. And bored in a moment. My father's corporation is nothing more than a bloody sham. It was built on the blood of those my father murdered. Collier Stanton. And now she's looking shifty-eyed. Collier Stanton was my father, and my father were the same person. After the massacre, he returned to Earth and was imprisoned, but escaped after the D-Day attack. He changed his appearance and became Martian Alexander. He built an empire on the blood of those early Martian settlers. The Oracle Stone gave him a certain power. Rockwell. Yeah, Rockwell. Rockwell's a good friend. I could always talk to him when I needed someone. Jacques Sparrow. Jacques' okay. He can be a sleazeball, but he's good to me. Norma Desmond Alexander. The woman is a witch. She wants my father's estate. She only married him because of the money. She drinks herself into a coma practically every day. What a lush. Galactic Pictures. They're not exactly MGM, are they? Lawrence Barkley. Doesn't know him. TMS. I took the shuttle several weeks ago. Has that ever paid off, us asking about TMS? Don't know Mac Malden. The Stanton Expedition. The Stanton Expedition came to this planet to do a feasibility study for mining the pure silicon on the planet. My father was the leader. He found out about the stone and devised a plan to get the stone away from the colonists. Lowell Percival, I don't know anything about him. Chantal Vargas. I was a roommate for a while, but she got so strung out on drugs I had to leave. Rick Logan. He's a dirty louse. Thomas Dangerfield told me how he used Rick to seduce me and trick me into stealing the Oracle Stone from my father. How could I have been so stupid as to fall for a creep like that? Alexis Alexander. I had no idea stealing the stone from my father would cause such a mess. Don't know Ferris. I work for a guy occasionally to help to pay the rent. Oracle Stone. Rick told me about the Oracle Stone my father murdered for. He said it was a rare artifact that must be returned to the families of those who found it. The night it disappeared, I found the combination of the safe and stole the stone. I arranged to meet Rick. He sent me to Mars with it and said he'd meet up with me later. Thomas Dangerfield. He's out of his mind. He says the Oracle Stone will allow him to do and get whatever he wants. He built some machine and says it will magnify the power of the stone to an incredible level. Jane Mansfield, she's a good friend. She let me stay at her place for a while. Dick Castro. I hang out in his place once in a while. Rocky Bullwinkle, don't know him. Deacon Hawk, don't know her. Nathan Bloodworth. Over Dangerfield making plans to get rid of him. Don't know Michelle Bloodworth. Bradley Erickson. My stepbrother Bradley has been horribly disfigured through exposure to genetically mutated material. Cooper Bradley, don't know him. Johnny Fedora. Fedora found out that my father's real name was Stanton. When Fedora tried to blackmail him, my father had him killed. Don't know him. And Robert Bloodworth, don't know him. And Tex Murphy. Have you got a plan to get us out of here, or did you just stumble in? I did not just stumble in. But as a matter of fact, I do have a plan. I'm going to use these tools to remove the concrete. Try something else. That's a damn good solution, you know it, but no, the game wants us to do something else. It wants us to look at these clothes over in the corner. Several form-fitting miniskirts, some workout clothes, and a few casual outfits hanging by a chromium rod. Nice of the bad guy to give her a room with a wardrobe in this cave. I can't take them, but I can push them on the ground. Which then allows me to take this inanimate carbon rod. And now, even though I have a perfectly good set of tools, I can use this rod to beat away the concrete, covering the door controls. You pound on the concrete until it is cleared away. And thankfully, because of the prophecy I was given, that I would find something useful in the memorial of the killed settlers, I now have this HCl2 acid, which can eat through the metal. And now I can push this button and we can escape. You move the button just as the sweet smell of gas enters your nose. The light begins to darken, darken, darken. So yeah, we had to go all through that just for the button to be booby-trapped and gas us to death anyway. Well, not to death, but when Alexis and I come to, we find ourselves in a small chamber surrounded by a mesh force field. I can stick my finger through the mesh, but that's about it. A deranged old man comes out of a booth. He walks up to us looking like the cat who swallowed the canary. Hello, Mr. Murphy. I am Dr. Thomas Dangerfield. Allow me to fill you in on the details of my great conspiracy. Yep, the Bond villain moment. He has to tell us his brilliant plan before we die. I am the only member of the Stanton expedition who tried to stop the slaughter of the Martian colonists who discovered the stone. For that I was beaten, tortured, and left for dead. But being a superior intellect, I willed myself to survive. I spent the next 20 years searching for Collier Stanton. 8 years ago I saw a photo of Martial Alexander. The eyes were what I recognized. I realized that Stanton had not died in the D-Day attack and had transformed himself into Martial Alexander. Many times in many ways I tried to get at that fiend, but his security was too tight, too good. But at long last I devised a plan of genius, worthy of my revenge. I hired Rick Logan to seduce Alexander's daughter Alexis, and convince her to steal the Oracle Stone. Using Johnny Fedora and Nathan Bloodworth, I lured Alexander out of his protective web by offering the pathetic fool the hope of getting back the stone. Bloodworth executed Stanton, and with his debt finally paid, I went for the stone. The fool Rick Logan tried to double-cross me and market the stone himself. I left him and his ambitions hanging. I found Alexis and the stone on Mars and had them brought to me. Having studied ancient Martian cultures for years, I was prepared to interpret the stone. I did so completely. The stone had been developed by an ancient and highly sophisticated civilization. The stone acts as a conductor between solid matter and the electromagnetic impulses of the brain. Truly a stone to make dreams come true. It provided that substance or matter for the impulses provided by the brain. Martians created the stone to free themselves from the rigors of technology and labor. Unhappily, humans have only been able to generate enough cerebral energy to make the stone operate only on only negligible or dangerous levels, something like a Neanderthal with a laser computer. Laser computer. Damn, that sounds futuristic. Preparing myself for the inevitable eventual possession of the stone, I construct a machine to magnify the impulses of my already advanced brain. Imagine the changes that would be wrought with this stone in my machine. Think big, Mr. Murphy. Do not be constrained by the practical. The practical is the refuge of the mediocre. Mr. Murphy, have you ever desired to be a god, to create worlds, to experience utter dominion? Wouldn't you like to be able to control the destiny of peoples, planets, even universes? Mr. Murphy, you are about to witness supreme, omnipotent, absolute power! Now, obviously, we cannot get out of this invisible mesh thing here. Can't walk out. Can't really do anything. A bolt passes through the top of the chamber. Well, it's something to interact with. You try to extract the bolt with your fingers, but are unable to. You clamp onto the bolt with your teeth and slowly turn it free. What a man! Supreme omnipotence and blonde in the bikini is the first thing he thinks of. It could be a redhead. The poor deluded fool! Oh well, speaking of blondes... Oh wait, let's see what he makes now. Thank you very much.
Do something, Tex!
Oh, now she's allowed to speak. Alright, I'm thinking.
Well, think faster!
Try distracting him.
I'll try.
And yes, this does nothing except give us some very badly pixelated fan service. Let's try that again.
Do something, Tex!
I'm thinking.
Well, think faster!
I'm afraid we're doomed.
Well, some hero you are.
Wait a second. Have you got anything with elastic in it?
Yes, I do.
No, really. We just ask that random question to get her to take her bra off. You gingerly take the jumbo bra. Why? You're gonna hate this. You're really gonna hate this. Because it turns out, even though I have a gun, and all these other tools, and all these things, we have to ask her, through that convoluted stream of conversation, to get her bra off, so we can use it as a slingshot to hit the control panel with the bolt to shut down the force field. You place the bolt in the bra, pull it back, take aim, and let it fly. The bolt strikes the lever controlling the cage and shuts it off. Why that control is not in the control room, I have no idea. So we're just going to walk around here. Are we going to walk in there and shoot the bad guy? Of course not. Because instead, we look over here and we have the ancient Martian stone changes color while suspended in the magnetic field. The Oracle stone sits suspended in a magnetic field surrounded by a thick glass casing. Oh, how are we ever going to break this casing? And it just so happens, we found that tuning fork in the Martian ruins. You strike the tuning fork and touch the chamber glass, the glass shatters. So we'll grab the rock, run here, and before he comes out, you grab Alexis and climb into the waiting speeder. Our arms reaching out to grab her from across the room. Thomas Dangerfield's mad experiment of attempting to harness the stone's power ended his life. Dangerfield was a decent human being once, but was driven insane by his quest for the ultimate power. Alexis and I decide that Deacon Hawk is the only logical choice for the stone. We arrive at the temple where she is waiting for us. She turns and whispers, "You have returned, the stone to the Mistress of Light. You have surely saved the world from annihilation, but you must continue to be diligent. Mankind may yet prove to be the author of its own demise. Reverence life, protect the living things, and recycle." Shouldn't that be revere life, protect the living things, and recycle? Screw it, we're at the end of the game. I'm going to stop complaining about the bad grammar in this thing. And now, for the safety of mankind, I must take the stone. Perhaps someday, when the human race is ready, it will be returned. Until then, farewell.
What was that about?
I don't know, but how about a hot dog and a beer from Weenie World?
Ooh, sounds good to me.
Bit anticlimactic, isn't it? But yeah, that is the end of Martian Memorandum. We save the universe you have 2 worlds at least, but we save, you know, Earth and Mars. We wind up taking a braless, busty blonde out for beer and a hot dog. And we never hear exactly what happened between her and Tex, but knowing him, he found a way to screw it up. Not that, you know, Tex winding up with the 20-year-old B-movie actress / now richest woman in the world would be a convincing ending, but then again, he wound up hooking up with Sylvia at the end of the last game, and that didn't go anywhere. But, yeah, that is Martian Memorandum in a nutshell, and honestly, given how slapdash this was and how utterly random the puzzles were, and the fact that you needed the hint guide to be able to spot the pixelated graphics and find out what to manipulate and what to do with what, it's a wonder that this game ever got a sequel. But it did get a sequel, and that sequel was a quantum leap in every single direction. And best of all, it didn't have Brent Erickson doing writing on it. So we had a lot less of this cheesy, sexist puzzles and BS and all this other crap. But I'll save that commentary for next time when we start playing Under a Killing Moon. So until next time, this is Starman, thanking you for watching, and keep watching the skies.